flight, I am going to find the darkest corner. That is to be expected. But I left my tripod, and my smaller travel size tripod is broken, so we're just gonna have to make do with this dark corner. Today we're going to be talking about how to be a good museum goer. I have spoken to interpreters, living historians, reenactors, and docents throughout the United States and asked their opinion on how to make your experience the best. So I'll just go through the list here. The first is to engage, be present. When you are walking into a room on a site, be willing to go, oh my goodness, this is so wonderful. Wow, beautiful. Look at that. That's wonderful. You get the idea. Some people don't feel comfortable doing that, and that is just fine. But just docents love to hear this. Interpreters love to hear what people enjoy, what people like. And so it also helps to gauge what you're interested in and what they can do to make your experience better. So they may, after seeing how interested you're in the floor, in this beautiful wooden floor, they may actually go into details about it. Also details about other wood throughout the building. So they're gauging your interest level in certain things. Don't be afraid to be engaged. Also, it really helps us. I know that sometimes I go to sites just to check off and go through the motions, but I've really tried to be more present in my tours because I'm really thinking about what I like from museum goers. It's really to kind of just look at them and know that they're here and they're present. So just be aware of that. Ask questions. We love to hear your questions, so don't be afraid to do so. Also, I actually have a little tiny notebook that I bring on tours, so that I do forget a lot of things. So I write down all my questions so that when there's a stopping point, I can ask the docent or the interpreter. Treat your tours as if they are a live performance, because in a way they are. When I give my tours, I put 110% into it, because that is really what I would love from any interpreter or docent or tour guide that is interpreting to me. I really want them to put 110% in, and this is what I do. So it does get distracting a little bit if someone is texting on a tour, if someone is carrying on a full-length conversation. If you want to do it in a theater, at a live performance, you probably shouldn't do it during the course of a tour. Just treat it as a live performance. Also, a little bit along the same vein, Pokemon Go is so wonderful. I absolutely love the fact that it is bringing museum goers or new museum goers into museums, and I am so excited about it. I even like to play along with the kids, so I may say, sir, I did see a beast just down the street down there, to the left, sir, and really like to play along, and they're like, and run off and try and catch a Snorlax or something. But please try not to catch a Snorlax in the middle of someone's interpretation. I have a friend from South Carolina, and she was talking about how somebody the whole time was trying to catch a Jigglypuff. Like really a Jigglypuff at her feet in the middle of her interpretation, and how distracting it was. So just be aware, and please, parents, please, if your kids are into Pokemon Go, and this is a way in which you can get them into museums and excited about museums, please speak to the docents, and drop some hints about, I assure you, some of our docents and interpreters throughout the US do play Pokemon Go, so they will especially know where to find things, or I think they're called Pokestops. I don't personally play, but I have a lot of friends who do, so please ask us about it. And if I can't help you, I definitely know a few people who can. Do not touch anything. Touch objects are coming into museums every day, and I think that is so wonderful, because it helps with the learning process and helps you understand things better to be able to touch it. But please wait until you are directed to touch things. Do not just go up and touch. Don't do that. I know that some of our things throughout historical sites they're taking out their actual collection and putting in reproductions, because it takes wear and tear to put actual collections out. But those reproductions are very expensive to make. So if you're up there touching, eventually, within something that's supposed to last about 20 years is only going to last a year, and they're going to have that redone or reupholstered, and that's money that museums these days do not have. So please, just be aware of that. Only touch or sit on something unless you are directed to do so. Stay with your group. So I volunteered at a museum about 3 years ago, and we used to have one tour after another, like 5 minutes between tours. And so when I'm moving on and someone's behind, I actually have to cut off like 2 minutes from my tour in order to compensate for the fact that we were waiting on someone to catch up. So just be aware that if you leave the group, just give the docent or interpreter a heads up. Hey, I miscalculated time. I need to jet. We understand that happens. Again, parents, it is okay if your child or baby cry. If they cry, they are children, they are babies. We are trained and we understand this, so don't feel any type of way about it. It is it is hard being a parent and then having somebody just judgment. Don't worry about it. You are not being judged, at least not on my tour. And if at any time you need to jet out, I'm not going to be offended at all. And I am sure my colleagues will not as well. A lot of us, not myself, but a lot of my colleagues are parents, and so they know that when babies are having enough of it, it's done. It's nap time, or it's lunchtime, and there's no amount of cooing that is going to get the baby to say, well, I guess I'll not take my nap. So just understand that we understand. Don't be embarrassed at all. Also, please understand that interpreters, docents, and reenactors are human beings. Be aware of this. Treat them as if you would treat anyone off the street. So if you want to go up to someone and touch them, or touch their heads, or touch their bodies, please do not do that to a docent. I am always excited to really speak clothing with people. So if someone just comes up to me and they ask, is that linen? And I will say, yes, it is. Would you like to have a touch? So I usually pull out my my apron or my gown and let them actually touch it. I am always so happy to do so, and I know a lot of my colleagues are as well. So just ask. Also, when speaking to people, whether they are portraying someone high up in society, like George Washington, or someone who is considered low in society, like an enslaved person, please treat them with the same respect that you would anyone, like an equal. So just be sure to treat them. And if you want to know about what they're doing there, who they are, I think the best thing to ask would be, what are you doing about the yard today? Maybe what are you doing in this village today? And so then from there they'll introduce themselves. They'll also tell you what they're doing. So you're just from that one question, you can get a lot of information. So just be aware of that, and I promise your interpreters, your reenactors, your docents will absolutely love you for it. And remember, please play along. I know that may seem silly sometimes, that you are sitting in a historic house, in a historic building and you're looking at a fire extinguisher and some modern thing that you may have picked out, because I'm very critical and I see those things. Just play along. Let yourself go. Let yourself experience. And I promise you'll have a better museum experience. Thank you so much for listening. I want to thank everyone. I've gotten a lot of emails. I've gotten a lot of messages on Facebook and Twitter, and I'm just very happy for the support. Please, everyone, go to more museums. Support your local museums. Our museums are dying for money. They need money. They need your support. They need your attendance, and also they need your work as well. So if you can volunteer at local museums, please do so. Everyone, have a good day. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Who are you, and what is your position here?
My name is Whitney Thornberry Austin. Still getting used to that one. I am an historic sites interpreter. And this is my basket.
Yeah, so what I'm asking today is, what's in your basket?
I have a couple of sewing projects going on. I am finishing hemming basically a shift, early 19th century one. Look, I did good hemming stitches.
That is so beautiful. We're such nerds.
Yeah. I am finishing my first early 19th century closet, bust and all.
Is that 1910s?
About 1910. 1810,
sorry.
19th century, 1810. Yeah. I've had to take it apart and put it back together, but it's
that busk looks great.
Yeah, I know. Paint sticks are great busks.
Yes.
Sunflower seeds. You pretty much always find me with sunflower seeds, and sour candy of some kind. My wonderful husband indulges me.
I've noticed.
Big old scissors, because I can still use these while I'm working on this, and they're very appropriate. The book I'm reading right now about Dolly Madison. It's a historical fiction type of biography about her. Notes, pencil, I can write things down. I write all kinds of notes about everything. And then there's like just little bits and pieces that float around in my basket every now and then that are way too messy to show.
Thank you so much, Whitney.
You are very welcome, dear.
Wonderful. And thank you for this episode of What's in Your Basket.